It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Today in Africa, we see a lot of uprisings, planning for uprisings, plotting for uprisings in several African countries. The events on the African continent, therefore, as predicted much earlier myself, in 2017, I said, before 2020, 13 African countries would have undergone either soft regime change, soft coups, or violent regime change through uprising, which now seem to be real. The signs that and symbols that we see are the real symbols and the signs that more is to come against African governments. What do we do then? There is a new method of changing governments strategically placed in the United States of America by George Soros. George Soros funds civil societies, civil disobedience, civil violence in Africa. It is upon you Africans and African heads of state, wherever you are, as you convene, as you plan to convene next month or before the end of this month in Addis Ababa, to understand the magnitude of this regime change strategy. Many wars are taking place, internal strife conflicts like the one in Cameroon, Amazonia, like the one in Biafra, Boko Haram, and then in Biafra, like the one in Libya. But the theme is the same. Regime change, uprising. Is it a matter of taking over our resources? You see, the war in Congo has erupted again. Unknown militias have arrived in Congo, restarted the war, and it is going on. this culminates to one thing. Are we ready to be independent? As I said last week, this week, are people in Africa ready to accept the results of elections? Elections everywhere in Africa are bringing the chaos we see. The people of Africa seem to be divided after elections or before elections. Is Africa ready for elections? Do we need elections in Africa? If so, are we tolerant enough to accept the results? Are we ready? Which method can we use in Africa to make sure that there is hope for the countries and there is hope and the future of Africa is guaranteed? Viewers, the High Court in Malawi today or yesterday was hearing a case when the president had already been sworn in. If the president of Malawi has been sworn in, then the High Court is hearing the case. Is that not a disaster, an accident in waiting? Whether this will make us have a peaceful Africa remains to be seen. And may God help us to build a better Africa. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television, a Pan-African station that broadcasts issues around Africa, concerning Africa, issues that fail Africa, that ails Africa. Today in the studio, I'm joined, and I'm happily joined by none other than my co-partner, co-presenter of this television station, a Pan-African station, Pan-African herself, none other than Miriam Ogutu.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miriam.
Good.
Thank you very much. We've changed the attire simply because to give the people out there the outlook that it deserves. But normally I wear my African attire. But I have done it in order to keep the morale and the importance of this subject. Today's subject is very important to the people of Africa, the Horn of Africa, East Africa, and the entire continent of Africa. The subject is important to the international community, that we now see a lot of focus on Somalia. Is Somalia becoming a hot potato of conflicts in East Africa? Are we having a problem where conflicts are shifting from elsewhere and are being brought back to the continent of Africa through Somalia or through the resources of Somalia or through the people who are neocolonially handling, paying Somalia? There are people, countries in the world that watched Somalia to go down. From 1991 to date, Somalia was left for Uganda and Kenya and the other frontline states. Our natives suffered, our natives died, our children died, our soldiers have died. We tried to pacify Somalia. We have tried, and we have done our level best to make sure that Somalia becomes a stable country, a country in the Horn of East Africa, in the Horn of Africa, in the Horn of Indian Ocean and the Red Sea where they meet, to make sure that this country, Somalia, stands on its feet compared to the way Siad Barre had it, the way, the unity that Siad Barre. And remember, Somalia was one country in Africa that liberated most African countries. South Africa, Namibia, Angola, Mozambique, just to mention but a few. Somalia played a pivotal role. Siad Barre government made it sure that the people are liberated. Most of the South Africans and the people in the southern parts of Africa used Somali passports to travel worldwide to escape apartheid. Why is Somalia so important to Africa? Those are the questions I want us to understand. Why are we why is everybody running back to Somalia? After we have done the dirty job, after Kenya, Uganda have done the dirty job, the other people, international hawks, merchants of capital imperialism, merchants of capitalism, merchants of conflicts, are beginning to emerge and point their fingers and their mouths, their stomachs, their brains on Somalia. 10 years ago, nobody wanted to look at Somalia. 10 years ago, the Ugandans battled Al-Shabaab and the rest of the terrorists that had heaped on this great country. We alone stood as contingencies of the Ugandan troops flocked in to fight insurgency. We have never given up. We have made AMISOM. We made it to work. We made it to stand. We make it today. We have the biggest contingent as Ugandans in Somalia. Kenya has taken its stand to make sure that they pacify, they keep the corridors open, they keep hopes for the people, the population of Somalia. Despite all these difficulties, there are civilian population who have suffered. There are civilian population who still need help to be liberated from these terror groups that roam about in all places of Balidoa and the north and the south, who still kill people. Therefore, Somalia is an important part, integral sister country. Somalis are loved. Somalis are loved everywhere.
They're quite very hardworking.
Hardworking people.
Yes.
When I went to the United Kingdom as a refugee in 1987, the biggest chunk of Somalis arrived into my hands. If you go to Streatham in southeast London, ask anybody about my name. They will tell you that man filled my forms. That man helped me. That man told me what to do, where to go to school, which institution to go to. There are many hundreds and hundreds of thousands of friends whom I helped to fill immigration forms, Somalis. They found me a refugee already in United Kingdom. I believe some of them are ministers in the government today. Some of them, when they see me speak today, will listen to me. They have to listen to me. President Famijo might not have seen me, but I played a pivotal role in making sure they resettle in Streatham, in Croydon, so that the police does not harass them, so the white supremacists don't harass them. They made their businesses. I filled forms for them how to apply bank loans. They made a living in Streatham, the biggest number of Streatham treating Croydon. Most of the Somalis in those places still remember my voice, still remember my restaurants, still remember my off license, the liquor license that on Streatham Road, High Road. Nobody will say I am telling something which I don't know. I want to know what is it that is making them become different today. And the rest of the Somalis knowing that we are brothers. When you go to Uganda, the richest people in the business are Somalis.
Even here.
We have given them everything that they need. We don't discriminate. My country, Uganda, is the only country in the world that gives Somali people entry without visa. And I want them to listen to me now. Because there's no other country that gives you entry without visa apart from us. What is making this country have this type of life where people are exchanging acrimony? They don't want to talk. They don't want to come on table. They don't want to discuss an African issue. Imperialism cannot solve us, our problems. Imperialism cannot handle our problems. We can't redraw the world because Bismarck made it a point in 1884 and drew the world. Are we redrawing the entire Africa then? Can we make the entire Africa redrawn? Who is this group in Norway? Who are the Norwegians? Where were they when we were dying in Somalia? Those are the external elements I'm looking for. I want to challenge them that now they have seen the pacification process going very well. They have turned, they want to harden a position. They have told the leadership of Somalia that don't listen to any voices that fill the forms in Croydon, in Streatham, in North London, in West Ham, where all of you, with some of you, were helped to form Somali community associations. I was the chairman of the Uganda Community Relief Association in Britain. I helped very many of them. Some who came with Uganda passports. Because when you are running away from whatever cause you are running, from terrorism, from insurgency, from war, you don't go with your passport. They had no passports. Some had Uganda passports. They had to come through us, some of us, in order to acquire any format of registration in the United Kingdom. So they are, in essence, Miriam, they are our brothers and sisters.
Yes, indeed.
That is my beginning, opening short remarks. I'm ready to take any of your questions.
Yes.
Any question that you ask. What is it? Why is it that the imperial machinery has seen? In the morning we are discussing the question of Kenya being one of the oil producing countries. But oil is always followed by a curse. And I have told President Uhuru Kenyatta without any reservations, because I speak it as it is. I am a hard hitter. I say it as it is, Mr. President. That money from the oil, keep it away from the yours resources. Create a special account for oil, for the proceeds from oil, to help the people of that region of Capedo Triangle to turn it into a viable organization, agro, and whatever roads infrastructure you want. Don't mix the money of oil in the national money. It's a curse. Many countries with oil, like Nigeria, is bankrupt, useless. You cannot be Nigeria and call yourself you are worth a citizen, because there is no petrol station. The water is polluted. People sleep on water. This is a state in Africa. That is what has happened in Africa. That pains us. But above this, who are these influencing the leaders of Africa to fight? We are talking about a borderless Africa with one passport, where we don't want to hear your passport. We want to hear African Union passport. As long as you are an African, you have to go into Mogadishu without anybody else. We can't fight people's wars. We can't be proxy to fight people's wars on this continent. If Qatar wants to fight a war, let Qatar fight a war with Saudi Arabia. We have nothing. Don't bring your nonsense back to Africa. And I'm going to speak as an elder. I'm older than Famijo. I'm 64 years. Therefore, President Famijo must respect me by age. I've seen many things. A good leader exposed, grown in America, who has international exposure, must understand to engage other leaders. Somalia and Kenya are good brothers and sisters. We are neighbors. We need an understanding. We don't need to become a hot potato of attraction for eating. After they have eaten, those imperialists will go away. And you remain looking for salt from either Kenya or Somalia. As an elder, I want to preach that.
And I think you've raised very
Thank you.
You've raised very, very pertinent questions there that I believe the leadership in Somalia should actually try and start kindling some of these matters that you're raising here, Doctor. And of course, the matter of outside influence. This is something that we cannot wish away. It's very apparent that the hands that are at play right now in Somalia are coming from especially the western part of the world. And so you've also mentioned neocolonialism. We see it coming back big time in Somalia.
Yes.
And is it because of the opportunities? Because, you know, Somalia, for a long time, nothing really was going on. And now Amazon is preparing to leave in 2021. So these people are getting themselves ready to come in because Somalia right now needs infrastructure. Somalia needs proper power plants. Somalia needs basic services. So they're coming in after we've done the dirty work, as you've said, and now they're coming in they're seeing these opportunities. Where does this leave us now? Because you see the agreement between now Kenya and Somalia, and Kenya has been a very big part of bringing Somalia, you know, the peace in Somalia and trying to restore stability. And we have paid the price very, very big time here in Kenya, very dearly. We've lost lives here because of the retaliations from Al-Shabaab, you know, militant group. So where will this leave us, the players who have really been very part and parcel in trying to, you know, to make sure that Somalia has become stable?
First of all, thank you very much, Miriam, for the question. Stability of Somalia depends on the engagement and the re-engagement and the confrontational. A conflict cannot be healed without using other methods. Then we must start now talking about what methods can we use to heal Somalia. We have engaged the boots. We are now having another lady from the United States of America. We gave her a lot of respect. But you see how she has yapped this morning. She came through Kenya in order to reach where she is in the US. Instead of taking a central piece of point and stand like I am standing, I'm not bothered whether Famijo likes me or whether Kenyans hate me. I am talking what I feel Africa must do. Africa must begin to engage. We must engage. We must not use English as a means of confrontation, of letters, exchanging letters, English grammar. You saw the letters last week. Somalia writing, Kenya writing. I was marking the English. Yes, because nobody can beat me in English.
Yes.
I did Shakespearean English. Way back in 1966, 67, 68, 69. J.A. Bright. So I was listening to the English, watching the English of Somalia and the English of Kenyans. Look, this is not a problem that you need to expose to international community. This is a problem that is solvable. That all of you can come back, sit down, arrange yourselves. We are looking for integration of Africa. How on earth do you talk about a border again? How will people in the European Union who are running away from European Union look at you? Are you being given advice by Boris Yeltsin, by Mr. Boris
Johnson, yes,
of United Kingdom after they have looted the whole world? They came back to say, we now want to remain alone. And they used all our resources to accumulate wealth.
they did that.
Now, for them, they don't want to see us. We are bad apples. So many people are discriminated. Is this what Africa wants? We are moving towards the angle of unity or purpose of integrating Africa. Somali leaders must desist. I know international law. And maybe Famijo doesn't know. You look at me. I am the one who conquered the ICC. I am the one who made the ICC go down. And if I start on ICJ, it will remain useless. I'm telling you now. Because this is the guy who brought ICC down. Maybe let me take off my glasses and you see me properly. I am the one who brought ICC down. I am the one who went and filed a case against the chief prosecutor and Bashir. The only African who has made applications, 21 applications against ICC until I collapsed it, until Americans rejected it. I told the people that one day America will be on my side on the question of ICC. Where is the ICC anymore? They came to Kenya, they picked leaders, tall ones and the short ones. They did not come to investigate. That court there, some of the judges are the most useless judges. They come from their drinking spree and make judgment. What solution are you going to make? What will you do to the Ugandan troops that are assembled after decision has been made? I want anybody to tell me that. We have done our job. What will you do to the Kenyan troops? We know of nationalism. We know of a country that is united by language, religion. We want to help Somalia to upgrade its standard, to grow into a state viable in the Horn of Africa. There's nobody wanting to occupy Somalia. But the problem we have is external forces.
External forces.
Yes.
And as I mentioned earlier, Dr. Amisom is preparing for a final withdrawal that is in 2021, and they'll be leaving Somalia, and they believe Somalia, the Somali National Army in charge of the country. Is it time yet?
No. No.
Is the country ready to be left by itself?
The former Minister for Presidency of Mozambique, who is the head of AMISOM, a very good friend of mine who knows we negotiated the Northern Uganda agreement between Konyi and Museveni together, Mandeira, from Mozambique. We negotiated Renamo with Mandeira in Rome, Chisano, Matanga, Kiplagat in Rome, plus the guys of St. Egidio, Dr. Fabio, and the rest. And I've told you, and I tell you as an expert, that if Emerson leaves the way things are going now, we shall have left a vacuum. Somalia will become Libya. I warned the people about Libya. Go to my writing. Go to the letter I wrote to Museveni. I wrote a letter to Museveni. Google it in the New Vision. Google it. Facts don't die. I told the whole Africa that one day you have left Gaddafi to be surrounded, to be eaten, to be killed. But one day the Mediterranean Sea will be in a disaster. It is in the black and the white. Because I studied the subject of political science. What can you do? Will you kill me because of that? I have the tools. I did know that Libya will go down, Miriam. I knew it. Google that letter in the New Vision of Uganda when the war started. Recently, when I was unpacking a few things, I and Jeff, I called Jeff, didn't I show you the letter? It is there. I warned the President Museveni for the first time. I was printed on the front page because Museveni never liked me. He thought maybe, but he saw the point. I warned the people that Libya, once you remove Gaddafi, and the French are the people who made Xi Jinping to refuse the plane of 5 heads of state who had gone to Mauritania to go and fly and remove Gaddafi. The French are the ones, again, bringing the problem in Somalia. Behind the scenes, they are paying for the rent, for the lawyers. I have no respect for them. They are looking for oil. They are looking for whatever they want. Can they leave us as Africans to discuss and share them? Can we share without, if we are looking for one passport in Africa, then you are looking for a border. What hell is this?
That's good. We are very confused. And now you mentioned of course, France, and it has, of course, an interest in Somalia, and so is a lot of other countries outside there in Europe and across the Americas. But there's also, you remember, 2 months ago, the Arab League came out to warn Kenya against the matter between the maritime border matter between Kenya and Somalia. So what does this mean in the whole dynamics of things as it stands right now?
Thank you very much, Miriam. The situation of the dynamics of the regional states. Of late, regional states have become a hazard to the regional countries that surround the Red Sea. Regional states took a part in the overthrow of Bashir. Regional states around the Red Sea and the Gulf have taken part in dismembering Egypt. Regional states have taken part in destroying Libya. They arm General Khalifa Haftar to kill Libyans. Who is arming General Khalifa Haftar? France, United Arab Emirates, and that so-called Qatar opposes the same. So they have carried their rivalry
back to Africa.
That's why I'm saying, is Somalia becoming a hot potato for the problems of Africa?
So they're bringing their problems here.
Yes.
And Africa has become a very good playing field for them to test their might and to experiment in how powerful they are against each other, which is very unfair.
It is very unfair.
And a country like France, which is a permanent member in the
yes,
United Nations Council.
France, Norway, and America in Khartoum are on one side. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, to the extent that the military chased Qatar, Al Jazeera, out of Khartoum.
Yes.
Because of interference. They are paying students at night and demonstrators at night to come and demonstrate in the capital city, at the same time trying to talk peace in the morning. So, Qatar is building a terrible base in Africa. Is Qatar also, because of the information and the intelligence I've gathered, if I tell you on this television station, I'll keep it. One day when I meet Famijo in the African Union,
yes,
I will tell him.
But yeah, Qatar is planning to build a new, I think, seaport at Somali's Hobyo seaport there.
Yes.
A very strategic investment.
It doesn't matter. If they want to build a good seaport, it will help all of us Africans.
But also UAE also has the same interest.
Now, Turkey has the same interest.
No,
Saudi Arabia,
Qatar is allied
look
with
at the
Turkey,
conflict.
Turkey.
Saudi Arabia has now gone to recognize Puntland, Somalia.
Has it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's trying to open an embassy.
I think they're just trying to throw the spanner in the works.
This is why I'm telling you, I brought this topic strategically for students of international relations and African history and politics to understand. Saudi Arabia is recognizing Puntland, which is a danger to our security. These countries are fighting in Yemen. They have destroyed Yemen. Yemen is zero. The capital Sana'a, where he went long time in the 80s, is no more. They are fighting between the Hutu rebels,
The Houthi.
Houthi rebels against the coalition of what? What is it? What interest?
The Sunni, yes.
We don't want to bring the Sunni Shia politics on this continent.
But it's already here, Doctor.
We have lived,
They already brought it.
we have lived peacefully.
They already brought it.
Yeah. So after they have made money out of oil, God gave them oil. Maybe the oil is getting finished. They are trying to expand to get more.
It's the greed now.
Who is paying the fees for the Somalis to be in court? Somalia has no central bank. Somebody is paying. And they're not paying for free. They are paying to get something in. These are facts. Salam Ahmed Ali. Those are facts. Who pays your fees? Who is paying your fees? You don't have money to pay. You don't have a currency. Which currency do you use? And I'm not against Somalia. I'm saying it. I'm neutral. I'm a Ugandan. My Ugandan troops, we allow Somalis to, there are many in Kampala. We have intermarried with Somalis. Some of us have very good friends, both women and men, Somali friends. We love them. We want a peaceful coexistence. We are not preaching hatred. We are not preaching separation. We are preaching togetherness of Africa. We should not be running to imperialists, the people who colonized us, the people who destroyed Somalia, the people who made Somalia go to rebels, the people who came and bombed Siad Barre out of Somalia is the ones we are going to beg to come to help us, to go and sort a problem in The Hague.
So, of course, you're talking about the ICJ case. The ICJ is set to hear the dispute between Kenya and Somalia September 9th to 13th at the Peace Palace in The Hague, Netherlands. And now the ICJ said the first round of hearings will take place on September 9th, when Somalia will make its submissions, while Kenya will respond on September 11th. So it's just next month. What should you expect from these hearings?
Respond to what?
From Somalia claims. So Somalia will put it.
To respond to what? What do they respond to? Kenya responds to what?
To whatever Somalia would have presented to the court
For
at The Hague.
What are they presenting? Don't we have African Union?
Oh, to mention African Union.
Don't we have African Union?
Kenya had suggested.
A court.
Somalia refused.
The Somali court, the Hague, the ICJ, is worse than Kibera Court.
In what ways?
In all ways. There is no procedure. The procedure in ICJ is crooked, cooked procedure. The selection of judges is not on merit. It's by the discretion of the Security Council. If they love you and you sing imperialism, you go there. Yes. Who funds that court? Who? You want to take us to a court which George Soros funds? Who funds that court? Show me that Security Council. Security Council chooses the judges they want. Who can work there? Can you work there as a magistrate from Kenya? Can you be a Kenyan magistrate and go there? We have one of the best lawyers called Mortician Githu Mungai, useless man. I'm honest. He's my friend, but very useless.
Is he the one
he
who
left this case
trouble? Yes.
to reach where it is.
Okay.
That's what has brought this confusion. If some of us, veterans of international law, forget about this cheap national law, veterans of international law had come into this case, it would have not gone anywhere more than that. I swear. Which judges are you talking about, Miriam?
So Maraga cannot go and be employed at The Hague? No.
Where? If Maraga can disorganize Nairobi, how can he be a product?
So it's a no for Maraga.
Maraga has no friend who can recommend him. That court, the court where Somalia has gone, are friends. If you laugh very well, laugh, and you know they have their language, diplomat talk. It's a diplomatic court.
That's a diplomatic court.
It's chosen on patronage, cronyism, patronage, regionalism. Even at times religion. Who knows who? If Kofi Annan knew you, he will replace you there. It's like people getting happy that Kofi Annan became a Secretary General of African Union, of the United Nations. Did he qualify? He got it through patronage.
He did not qualify.
Where? If he had qualified, would he have killed Rwanda? If he was a qualified Secretary General, would he have killed Rwanda? It is France that put Kofi Annan to Secretary Generalship. That's why if Kofi Annan married a French lady, the wife is French, from DSGE operator, Mrs. Go and read the background of the wife of Kofi Annan, of late Kofi Annan. That's why Kofi Annan Foundation was purely for making money to topple governments in Africa. Those who don't accept him, they take you like a Taylor. Where is Taylor?
Charles Taylor.
Charles Taylor is serving sentence because of Kofi Annan and Obasanjo. Who is Obasanjo? Obasanjo is part of the French fury in Africa. Conspiracy. Obasanjo is a chairman, a permanent chairman of a telephone company from France. You tell me, go ahead. Do you want me to narrate? I can narrate you things that will shock you. So, Alcatel, he's a life chairman. He gets paid until he goes to the grave. Look at Nigeria. They say they had seen who is Boko Haram killing Nigerians. And they said they are coming to finish in 100 days. How many days have passed? 7 years. Boko Haram is still killing people. Obasanjo and his friend called Buhari. They are all French operatives. They are paid by the external service of France to mutilate Africa. Have you ever seen anywhere where Obasanjo has solved the problem? Show me. Show me. Show me one country where Obasanjo has come. Sudan, South Sudan. Obasanjo was given a mandate to find out who killed people in South Sudan. Obasanjo brought a report, watered it down, removed some things. The report is dead. Have you ever seen it? Today we are grappling that, we are making peace in South Sudan. Which peace? There is no peace there.
So you should not be very positive about November date. Yeah, the way things are going, I don't think much will come from the peace process in South Sudan. But that aside, Somalia rejected the Commission of the African Union invitation to a briefing on the maritime row between Kenya. Instead, it expressed confidence in the International Court of Justice and its ability to deliver a fair ruling. So Somalia has full confidence at the international court.
How do you... Somalia has full confidence. What? You say Famijo has full confidence. Are all Somalis agreeing that they go and start fighting with Kenya in The Hague?
No.
It's Famijo. President Famijo has allowed his country to go on a test line. Let him go on the test. I know what international law is. International law is international interests. Where they know. Why is Norway here? What is Norway? Norway, the map. Did Norway colonize France? Did Norway colonize Somalia? Did Norway Was Norway one of the colonizers that to tell us a map? Rubbish Norway. These are countries, we are coming on head on with you. And we are not going to allow you to divide Africa. Take note.
Right.
Now it is a battle of the minds.
Yes.
Those who have read, who have gone to school, versus those who have not gone to school, who want to confuse Africa. We read the same books, and they are not going to defeat us. The battle line is coming, and we are not going to keep quiet to allow people in Africa to be divided. Miriam, no. I'm now in it. I'm now in it. I don't need permission from anywhere to be in it. I'm an African. My troops are in Somalia. My Ugandan troops are in Somalia. I have a right to tell Famijo, shut up. He has no right to tell us to take a case away from African Union. He must respect African Union. Otherwise, we expel him from African Union. He has to respect us. We are not going to allow our children and the women to be killed. We have done enough. And therefore, we are not going, if he has not seen people talk yet, we have begun. And you will see the heat until you come on table, sir. Otherwise, you die of pressure in Mogadishu.
Yes, indeed. And now there's something else that is coming up that is becoming another hot potato here, and this is Somaliland. And Kenya came out to congratulate the re-elected president of Somaliland. Somaliland, of course, is an autonomous region and is part of Somalia. And it has its own military, it has its own currency, it's its own state, within state there in Somalia. And so Kenya coming to congratulate the president did not augur well with, of course, the government of Somalia and now Ethiopia. And we have to realize that Ethiopia has about 4,395 troops there in Somalia, and Kenya about over 3,664.
And the Uganda, 11,000.
Imagine. So what
and this man, this guy, my friend, my good viewer from Mogadishu has been there for a long time. I don't want to use hard words on you, Abdasalam Ahmed Ali. I like you because you have been watching my television for a long time. Uganda has the biggest contingent of troops in Somalia. It is our parliament, not UN. It is our parliament that took the troops that make you talk from Mogadishu. Yes. If you didn't know, we are beginning to talk now. And be prepared for a tough talk.
So
prepared for a tough talk.
Yes.
And we are not easy. We are not easily convinced. We are the only people who allow you to come to our country without a visa. You want to talk beyond us. Yes. Ask more questions.
So this could be a problem now, after Kenya congratulated the re-election of the president there in Somaliland. Ethiopia now came in, they did not like that.
Ask Abdallah Samad Ali, why is there
another simmering problem now between Kenya and Ethiopia?
Yes.
We are being
drawn into a hot potato is drawing us.
Abdisamad, what is going on?
Yeah, maybe you ask him. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. Learn, my brother. Now you see, after Salam, of all respect, you are calling me a chameleon. And there he laughs. I am not a chameleon, sir. I am a very good man. He said Uganda and Kenya are chameleons.
Kenya? Uganda and Kenya are chameleons. In what way, Abdisamad?
We are not. We have done our best.
I think we have.
Brothers, we want you to be united. We want you to pacify your country. You want the enemies, not us. The enemy are the ones that are killing people, innocent people.
I see one of our viewers there, my tablet is off, is saying, let Uganda and Kenya troops out of our country. Well, they're coming out. They have to come out. They can't just walk out.
They will come out when you are able to lead
There
yourselves.
has to be some strategy.
But you are not yet able.
But the final withdrawal is expected in 2021. I don't know if you're out there and you're watching us. I assume you're from Somalia, Liban, Eid. Do you think Somalia military is able to really take care of its country? You can tell us that because the AMISOM is preparing to withdraw from Somalia in 2021. They just can't take their bags and ship and leave. There has to be a manner and a strategy in which they're going to make sure that Somalia has been left in safe hands. And because if Somalia is not safe, we have suffered. We have been casualties of insecurity in Somalia. So, as the rest of the countries that border, especially in Somalia, it is in our best interest to make sure that Somalia indeed has stability and its military is able to protect its citizen inside and outside its borders. So, but the AMISOM is preparing to make the final withdrawal in 2021. So, if you think that Somalia, military is able to take care of its own country, you let us know. And of course, thank you very much for writing to us this afternoon. And so, well, as we wait for that ruling on September, you said you don't know what Kenya will be responding.
Please. There is which ruling? Somalia has to come to AU.
Yes.
Unless they are saying they don't want AU.
They refused. They refused, and the AU invited them to come and try to solve this, and they said they have full confidence.
Then they have to be reprimanded.
In the International Criminal Court.
What for? What?
Because there are mechanisms, I think, of dispute resolution. AU could be.
Those are those are diplomats. I told you, the court in ICJ is a diplomatic court, chosen on patronage. Whose son? Where did you work? Were you a former foreign minister? Were you an Attorney General of Kenya or Attorney General of Yugoslavia? It's not a court of merit.
So all these squabbles, Dr. Matanga, how is this going to affect the fight against terrorism in this region?
It weakens. It weakens, my sister. It weakens. And we're in trouble here.
We're in trouble.
They submit. We're in trouble.
So it's in our own interest if this country...
Now, it has drawn out as the younger girl whom we thought was doing very well in the US. This younger girl sent a tweet on her Twitter. You see what she has said?
Which one?
The one, the senator, is it no, the Congress lady who has been harassing Mr. Trump. We supported her.
The one who wanted to go to Israel and she was denied and then later on agreed. And
that Democrat.
Iram or something.
Iram? Yes, Iram. She has sent a tweet regarding the conflict in Somalia where he says, Kenya, you PDF destroyed a mosque. No. And she should not take sides. This lady was in Mulyango Kubwa in Kitale. I've traced where she passed through before going to the United States. We have records. And we don't want to take you on, madam. At least you are doing a very good job to attack Mr. Badman, Badmouth, that loud mouth from America called Trump.
Trump is not allowed. Trump is a 5-year-old.
He's an ignorant man.
Trump is a 5-year-old man.
No.
Abdissamad Sadaraka Beneth there is responding to and he's saying, we need to appreciate and respect because he's one in a million who says the truth. In fact, I think Sadaraka...
Thank you very much. You have answered him. I think he will cool down now. You know? He doesn't want to listen to the truth, that gentleman.
But you know, anything about Somalia is very close.
Yeah, he's very close. But he has been my good friend from Mogadishu.
And we appreciate
and
it.
We are not going to quarrel with you, sir. This was just an argument.
Yes, just an exchanging of ideas. Okay. All right. And... This is who Abrahim Rashid. Abdi, you're saying when Somalia has a currency or not is a discussion for another day. Their territorial sovereignty is what is at stake, and we don't trust AU. So what would be the reason why?
We are asking who paid for their fees. We are looking for the root cause.
So Somalia does not trust the AU. This is a
No, who paid? Miriam, it should not take us there. We don't care whether you have a currency or not, you'll have it. We are trying to clean you so that you have it. Yes. 10 years, 11 years, 20 years, these guys have not cleaned Somalia. Kenya and comes in with Uganda to clean it. They are now pulling on wings. You see, it is not very good. Respect people. Don't cut the bridge where you came from.
We still need each other.
Yes.
All right. Point taken.
You haven't reached the point of across the bridge. Have you heard of that song? Across the bridge, there is no more sorrow. But when you turn back to the bridge where you came from, there is sorrow. Please.
And someone is stepping on our toe here. He's saying, James Piok Akok, you're saying corruption that addicted in South Sudan came from Kenya.
No.
What does that even mean?
No, don't step on us. Corruption came from there.
The police.
South Sudanese have eaten everything. They are about to eat themselves.
They've taken it to another level.
Yes. Now the president wants to buy a jet, a presidential jet, when people don't have even toilets.
I support him. It's just not the right timing. It's not the right timing to buy the jet. But I think a president needs a presidential jet.
So
but
what?
It's not. The timing is just off, perhaps, because of the problems that South Sudan is currently facing.
President Uhuru Kenyatta is using Kenya Airways to go to Japan today. Is there a problem?
He used Kenya Airways?
Yes.
Not his presidential.
No.
But him, that is an option.
His jet does not arrive there. It has a limited place.
Okay.
So he used Kenya Airways to go with bigger contingent to go and lobby several other places. That's a good question. You can.
Liban, you're saying, why don't Kenyans trust the International Court of Justice? I think that Kenya wanted to solve this matter amicably instead of taking it to the... Because when you take something to the court...
Because Kenya has been in other courts before.
Sort of declared war or something.
We have been there before. Has Somalia been in ICC? Wamekuwa huko. Do they know what it looks like? Si tulikuwa huko. We were in ICC. We know how these courts work, sir. So be careful when we are telling you the truth. Walai. Walai Mahara, we are saying the truth. I'm now talking Somali.
You're
yes.
To speak Somali.
These are my people. I helped them in Croydon in London.
They'll start marking you Somali if you speak, and Abdi Samad will be happy to give you marks on you how well you can speak Somalia. But yeah, I think just to answer your question, Liban, I think Kenya just wanted an amicable solution because we are like brothers. You know, we have a whole county of Somalis. When you come to Isli, it's a whole Somalis from Somalia, not even Somali Kenyans, all the way from Somalia. And so we share more than just a border. We are very brotherly. So I think Kenya wanted just to get just a diplomatic, resolution of this matter. Because when you take something to the court, I think that might have a different, interpretations. I don't know what would be, how you would look at that. You can perhaps tell us why you think Kenya was not very comfortable going to ICJ. And Aziz,
hey,
my friend,
they have come now. I think they have called them that days.
Aziz is saying Somalia life quality is better than what you live on. Okay, that's good. If things are improving there, that means AMISOM has done very well. So that is very good.
So AMISOM has done well under they can as well
start
live.
Packing, yes.
Yes.
Thank
you very much, Abdallah Kadiri.
No, Aziz.
Aziz.
If life is bearable and is becoming better in Somalia, that is very good news, and we're happy for that. Abdi Rahman, Abdul Kadir, you're saying Kenyans not confident because of their injustice case. And what would that case be? Do we have another injustice case at the ICJ? I don't know what he means, but maybe you can expound on that, sir. But thank you so much for writing to us.
This Jubaland elections.
They're now, like I even read it early in the morning, it's becoming a problem because Kenya government came out to congratulate the president. He has been re-elected, so he's been there. So it's not something that is out of order. So by congratulating the re-election of the president of Somaliland, Somalia, in fact, was not very happy, together with Ethiopia. So now we're having a wedge between us and Ethiopia as well, because of Somaliland and now Somalia. Abiy Ahmed seems to be, I thought he was a good mediator, because mediator, you're not supposed to take sides, but he seems to be siding with Somalia, Ethiopia.
Of course.
Yes.
Ethiopia, I will tell you the problem of Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a civil society government created out of international civil society of George Soros. Full stop. Ethiopia is not the Malays, Zenawi we had. It's gone. The guy there is a civil society president. He deals more with civil society. He deals more with international agencies.
And a lot of public relations.
Yes.
Stands. So
that's why you see him hovering all over Africa. He's in Khartoum, he's in Asmara, he's in Mogadishu, he's in Kenya. He tried here, but here we have already foolproof. That's it. To spread the hegemony of George Soros. That's the truth.
And Ibrahim Rashid Abdi, thank you so much. I think you're raising a very interesting point here. You're saying the sad reality concerning Jubaland elections is that everyone has their preferred candidates. Kenya preferred Madobe, Farmajo preferred the other one, I think that, did not get preferred Seral, while Ethiopians also have their preferred candidates. They don't care if the election will be free or fair. So these countries are running the agenda in Somalia, apparently. This is according to our viewer here. They all have their...
But the other one, who was the one which has been recognized internationally by the UN observers who were there,
Madobe.
Is Madobe.
And
finished.
And he was the incumbent. So you mean to say the elections were not free and fair in
whether they were are there free and fair elections in Africa? Sure. Where do you find them? Only South Africa, because there is proportional representation. Yes.
All right.
So yes. Any more questions? We've done our part.
Now, Liban Eid, yes, even Madobe, I think, came out to say Somaliland is very proud to be part of Somalia. So nobody's disputing that, Somaliland is not part of Somalia. It is part of Somalia, and that has been respected across the world. And it is recognized like that. Of course, Somaliland is trying to fight to have its own independence. But as it is right now, it is recognized as part of Somalia. So nobody's really disputing that. And even the president who was elected, he came out and said, you know what, they will continue working together. And he was urging President Farmajo to really try, if they can improve the relationship between these two states, then it will work for the best, for the two, for the Somaliland and also for Somalia. So yes, it's all good. And Jibril Somar, you're saying the election was rigged. All right. So are we to see people from Somaliland going out in the streets? So they don't do that over there. That is just left for this other part of Africa. Will they go to the streets to contest?
Which one?
Somaliland.
How do you contest on the street? That's a war zone.
So you can. So
yes.
Accepted.
I've just received a tweet here.
Yes.
Someone has just sent me a tweet.
Yes.
Saying, I've just lost 3 friends of my workmates, friends in a greasy road accident on Thika Road, coming from the Matthew Barrio. Please, to whom it may concern, everyone, this may reach out. Don't drink and drive, just don't. Then another gentleman answered him, Pole sana, what is the name of the company you work for so that we can apply for those vacancies?
Come on, you cannot be that
On that note, On that note, we can call it a day. The man said, this one is, honestly, that is, Miriam, that's what kills Africa.
I know. You don't.
That's the Africa we have, my dear.
Unfortunately, but you're applying for a job there.
No, the man is saying those three are gone.
Yeah, so
but what is the name of the company? We would like to come and apply for this job.
At their positions.
Life has to go on.
Come on.
Oh yes.
That is so heartless.
Life has to go on.
that is such a bad joke. But yeah, life has to go on indeed.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
God bless everybody. Thank you very much. I hope you have no more questions for me.
No, I don't have any more questions, but I'm really happy to see a lot of viewers from Somalia.
It is working.
So we
want to
talk about this again.
You requested the Somalis.
What else would you like us to talk about in regards to Somalia?
Requested them to be watching this channel.
Please be watching
breaking news, all of them from Africa. Yes. I am happy the Somali brothers today, you have come in hundreds and hundreds. I can see all of you now charged up.
Some have come with pebbles, some with bricks.
Yes, there are no bricks. Some have got
just
good suggestions.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much. We want you to come and watch. This is the only station that speaks without fear or favor.
And the opinion is all.
And the opinion is all published for you to say. We shall not deduct any comment. We allow it to go. If you miss the show, start once more. We are saying we are Africans. We are better off without those people who want to bring war to us, who want to encourage us to go and fight. Let's not become a hot potato in East Africa to create conflicts. Thank you.
And as we finish, Abraham Rashid there, Abdi is saying that currently they have 4 presidents in Jubaland because each have declared that they want the elections. So
that's the French
tragedy.
Didn't I tell you it is a French tragedy?
The French
Kofi Annan tragedy.
So
it looks like they will start turning guns on each other.
Not the streets, the guns. Them they have the guns.
Yes.
Somaliland.
They have the guns.
It's been an oasis.
Each of the presidents has the guns.
It's been an oasis in the desert.
Yes.
Each of the presidents has guns.
Yeah.
So they'll start turning guns on each other. We hope that does not come to that. But we really want to thank your viewers today, especially our viewers from Somalia. You've given us some insights on what transpired in the elections and what really happened. So we thank you for your contribution today. And hopefully you can meet here tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning Africa, 11 a.m. East African time.
And that will be Miriam and Miriam alone.
All right.
Tomorrow. No, I will come in. I needed a rest, man.
Okay.
I will come in, but it's okay. Thank you very much, Miriam, for the day, and thank you very much. If you have any suggestions, anything that you want us to discuss on this platform, you are free to send it to us. Our details are at the bottom of this, the television. You can get everything you want, any news, any articles that you want to read, just check the old flow on all our 7 pages that we run in the Facebook and the Twitter. Thank you very much. God bless all of you. This station, therefore, is for Africa, with Africa, by Africa. Ciao.
Ciao.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.